what would you like to learn about their experiences, their
Hmm.
family history, how they have grappled with the legacies of enslavement in their own family? Like,
Hmm.
I'm just curious, what would you like to know about them?
Honestly, everything. I'm definitely, and I think it just comes with my practice and clinical work where I have to, I got it, especially if there's, two conflicting parties, hearing both sides. I was always the therapist of my friend group. And so when two friends in the same group would get into it, I was always that neutral person. And so I would hear this person tell them about themselves. I'd hear this other person tell them about themselves and say, so what are y'all going to do? Because I'm not in it. So I say that to say I would want to hear all and everything because um, because I know a lot of black people in this country may not have that opportunity to be able to ask those questions, to be able to hear the other side, right? And not so much of like, um, I don't know if it's not so much of like wanting to. I don't know. I think it's my. I always say it's my psychology brain working because I was that person. I watched all the murder shows. How to and it's like, but why did they get to that point, right? And so it's kind of the same type of concept with the Preston family. It's how did y'all get to that point, and how and more of just a curiosity and understanding, because I understand their descendants may not did not you know feel a certain way, or feel racist towards another racial group. I'm not saying that's the case, um, but just that genuine curiosity of we don't always hear that perspective, you know. Um, so yeah, I would be open and curious to hear their story.
It's another legacy of erasure, right? Like, they
Mhm.
don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Um, did I hear correctly that you have visited Virginia before?
Yeah, we went to as a part of the um, HBCU tour. I went on a couple not this past spring, but the spring before. We did the DMV area.
Well, what was that like for you?
Going into with the knowledge that we've been blessed with, um, I think if I didn't have that knowledge, it'd just be another state I'm driving through. Um, but now that I had it, and it was interesting because even in ancestry, it'll show the migration as well, and a lot of um, my ancestors went through Virginia, and so I was like, what? So it definitely was. And it's funny because I was talking to one of my really good friends about this while we were on the tour. I told her, I said, it feels really weird. Um, and I couldn't really gauge it, almost like a eerie kind of feeling. Um, where it's like just because I have that knowledge now, I'm just like where I said earlier, I'm like, my ancestors could have ran through these woods, like what? It's just a lot of that was going through my head of like, and then of course thinking about what was it like. I've done simulations of like the Underground Railroad and stuff. Um, I was more actively involved. It was like my senior year of high school, but and even then, at the end of that, I broke down crying. Um, but that's also because my dad's side of the family, especially, made it a point to make sure I knew where I came from and I knew my history.